Yes, my name is Josef Stalin, and I was the second dictator of the Soviet Union, or today's Russia, back when we believed in communism. In Russia, over the centuries, we've had three main kinds of rulers. Tsars, dictators like Lenin, who led the Bolshevik Revolution back in 1970, me, others, and finally presidents. The Bolsheviks transferred power from tsars to dictators. Olga, bring me my book.
Here, Mr. Stalin.
You may be wondering where our unique alphabet has come from. Let me tell you. Back in the 9th century, two Christian missionaries named Saint Cyril and Saint Methodius were sent to spread Christianity to the Slavic people. So they created a written language called the Cyrillic alphabet and wrote the Bible in it, then taught it to the Slavs. This is that language. Olga! I would also like to educate you on the KGB, our former secret service. The KGB spied on other countries because we were afraid of other countries. The KGB also spied on the people in our own country. Let me tell you about the Solyovovs. The Solyovov family lived in Russia during the communism period. Vladimir and Elena were editors and journalists and wrote something the government disagreed with, and they took it for questioning in a KGB office. After that experience, they decided to leave Soviet Union, but the government would not let them, and they became dissidents. Do you know what a dissident is? It is someone who opposes their government. The Solyovovs were worried because a lot of dissidents were either put in prison or exiled in Siberia. Have you been to Siberia? It is right here on my map. It is cold and desolate, but the Solyovovs were lucky. They were forced to leave Soviet Union in 1977 instead of being exiled or imprisoned. So Vladimir and Elena left with their 12-year-old son, Evgeny, and came to the United States. The son, who calls himself Eugene, now lives in Sitka, Alaska. This is ironic because Sitka was first colonized by Russia. Don't worry, Fortuners. Today the KGB no longer exists in Russia. As I've told you before, I was the second leader of communist Russia. But you probably don't know what communism means, you capitalists. Allow me to explain. Communism is a political system where the way goods are produced, like factories and farms, are owned by everyone, and everyone shares in the work. That is communism in its truest form, because it removes people who are really rich and really poor, so everyone is level or equal. That is why Lenin and other Bolsheviks believed in it. But communism in Russia and Soviet Union was not at its purest form. As the Solyovovs described it, they thought it was totalitarian, a government where a political party has complete control and outlaws all others. For example, say the Democrats had complete control and outlawed all other political parties, like the Republicans. But finally, in 1991, communism was abandoned, and our first president, Boris Yeltsin, was elected. That was the end of the Soviet Union. At that time, statues of great communist dictators, including me, were pulled down. When young Kathleen Porterfield visited my great country in 2000, she described it as a 24-hour-a-day party. She worked with the International Space Station as a Russian-American translator, and Russia was not afraid of any other countries anymore. My great country has an advanced school system in math and science. Russian children start at age 7 and go through 10 grades of uniforms, discipline, and politeness. If they were even 1 minute late, everybody got in trouble, even their parents. It was definitely more efficient than your US schools today. Like there would be less interruptions and there would be less blurting out. I would also like to thank you for listening to me. But first I would like to give you some general facts about me. I captured power in Russia in 1924 and led the country through World War II, where I was considered one of the big three, which was me, Franklin Roosevelt, and Winston Churchill. Unfortunately, I died in 1957. Thank you for listening to me, and goodbye. But as we say in my country, das vidania.